Welcome to another Online Personals Watch interview. We have Steve Sarner today, who's a VP Marketing from Tag.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Steve.
It's great to be here again with you, Mark.
So we've actually not interviewed before, so it would be great to catch your founding story.
Absolutely. So Tag was founded back in 2004, originally as a social network for teenagers, actually. And then once Facebook and MySpace kind of opened up and really started to grow, we saw the opportunity to try to be the world's social network. And the race was on. So it was, Facebook, MySpace, Badoo, Bebo, High Five, so many social networks at the time trying to be the world's social network. And we all know who won that game. That was Facebook. So actually, we realized in 2007 that Tag was not going to be the winner of that race, but we saw a huge opportunity in meeting new people. And that's when we actually pivoted the company in 2007 to really focus on being the place to meet new people. And it's been very successful for us. We're now over 330 million worldwide registered members.
So 30% of your users are logging in via the mobile apps?
It's quite impressive, and it grows every month, too. In fact, we're very confident that by the end of this year, we'll be over 50% mobile.
So tell us more about this phenomenon, which is friends. Is it right, do you think, to call it friends making? Because that's the Asian term, or social dating. I mean, how do we define this?
We just simply call it the best place for meeting new people. And it's used, Tag is used differently by a lot of groups. Some actually just want to make online friends. A lot of people play social games with us, and they meet. And our social games are designed to make it easy for you to meet new people. And then, a good percentage of our population, though, of course, uses Tag as a dating application. So there's definitely a very big use case for dating, flirting, and meeting up that way as well.
How do you help your members use it as a dating service through the mobile app?
Oh, absolutely. So, well, the mobile app in particular, we have a few features. One of our most popular applications within the app and within the site is Meet Me. And that is basically an opportunity where our algorithms will take a look at our database and serve up people who we think might be people you might want to meet. And then, of course, we have filters available where you can actually filter out age and gender to be more specific on who you want to meet. In addition to that, we also have enabled the location aspect on our mobile app as well. So if there are other Tag members in the vicinity, it will allow you to see who might be in the vicinity, and you can message them to see if you might want to actually meet in person as well, since you're close by.
What's your approach with location? Because my general understanding of the LBS services is that women are a little tentative of using and declaring their location. And they're a bit scared if they see they're surrounded by guys. And I mean, what do you think is the best way, and how has Tagged approached LBS?
Absolutely. It's certainly a very emerging and it's for some a sensitive topic. So the first thing that we do is very important is complete user control. So it's very easy and very evident whether you can turn it on or off. So opting into actually having it on is very very clear cut and a very important part because we take security, privacy, and safety very seriously as any top-notch social network should. In addition to that, Tag is a little bit different than some of the other social networks in that we don't show your entire name. It's just first name and last initial. So it's not really very, very highly personally identified information, personally identifiable information. And then we actually our location is somewhat opaque. It will tell you if somebody is like within a half mile, but it doesn't give a pinpoint like they are in this bar right now type of situation. So we've thought through that, and we felt that it's just better to be more conservative there. And then if the people really are interested in meeting each other, they know they're close by, they can message each other and work out the meeting that way versus being like, oh my gosh, you're right behind me type of situation.
Do you push matches as well based on location?
Not yet. You can filter to look for people nearby. So somebody can actually make that as a criteria, but we're not actually saying, oh, you two people are close together. Maybe you should meet. But that's certainly one of the things that's setting on the product roadmap that we're looking at potentially doing in the future.
Would you consider personality profiling?
I'm sorry. Repeat that question.
Would you consider compatibility and personality profiling, perhaps?
Um, we we're more in terms of trying to get like-minded people in interest. We don't necessarily have a compatibility personality type of test on the site, and we really don't have plans to do that. We think that some other players who are looking at the more serious romance type of sites do that very well, and that's a very specific space that we're more general and casual friend making. That said, once a week we get an email from somebody who said that they're getting married because they met on tag. But it's not designed to be the place to find your soulmate, but we do a pretty good job of getting people together, and that happens quite often.
And what's the typical demographic of tagged members? Do they tend to skew a lot younger?
No, actually a lot older, which is really interesting. So over 21% of our audience is over 21. Over 75% of our audience is 21 plus. And our median age is 33. Our fastest growing age demographic is above 40. We are worldwide. We're in over 200 countries. We're in 20 languages. About 25% of our members are in the U.S., though. And then our next largest countries are followed by the UK, Canada. We're very large in the Netherlands, big in the Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, and then we kind of bounce all over the world.
Is that entirely... How have you advertised? How have you reached such a international audience?
It's been great. We've done this all through purely viral growth and word of mouth growth. And we've had some great engaging games where people like to invite their existing friends in, and people just find out about Tag. We grow by about 25,000 new members a day on a consistent basis, and in terms of new members coming in. And it's purely through viral growth using the different channels, everything from Facebook Connect through email and all the other opportunities there. And it's just a fun environment that people really enjoy and come back to visit and bring in other friends as well.
So the games are online rather than being on the mobile phone, right?
We have one of our games online on mobile as well right now. Pets is available.
Pets, yes. How does that work?
So Pets is a really fun game, and the whole conceit of the game is where you actually trade and buy and sell other people's profiles. And again, it's completely opt-in, and it's something that we have about 500,000 daily active players that really have a fun time trading each other and kind of building a whole portfolio of pets. We have what are called pet runs, where it's a kind of a musical chair thing, where people bid up the price of certain people, and it's quite a fascinating phenomenon. And people love the game, and that's been one of our biggest success stories for sure on the site. One of the most engaging features.
So let's talk about engagement and money. Where's the money? How do you monetize mobile?
Absolutely. So on the mobile side, we are completely ad-free. And our goal is to remain ad-free. And there's a lot of revenue that we are actually leaving on the table if we were to put ads on, because when you're talking about 30% of a site of our size, that's a lot of traffic on the mobile app every day. But really, it's virtual currency. And it's really from the standpoint of people being able to buy gifts and to promote themselves on the mobile app, as well as to play the virtual games and stay in the game and buy additional tag gold to continue to level up and be successful in their game. And that's where the money is generated, 100% on virtual currency on mobile at this time.
And what are you charging in the USA, and is that typical globally?
It's most of the revenue does come out of the U.S. Basically we have different products available. So we have a VIP subscription, which is $20 a month, which gives you access to a lot of features and also additional gold. But the gifts range from anywhere from $1 to you can just spend to increase your bank account of gold as much as you want to spend, basically. So it's a matter of people reloading their bank accounts to play the games, send gifts, or whatever activity they're trying to do on the mobile app.
How do you feel about paying Apple 30% of that? Do they earn it?
Well, so our app is completely free, so there's no charge to download the app. And to the best of my knowledge, that those transactions are being done, through PayPal and separately, and when they're buying. So I'm not sure that Apple's actually getting a cut of that revenue.
Ooh, that sounds good. How about Android? What's your approach with Android?
So Android's actually our most popular platform. We have more users on Android than any other one, and we're completely committed to building out all the possible features we can. We definitely see different use case, different form factor, so to speak, on how people use mobile. So we customize elements of our games and elements of the site. What you see on the site is definitely transformed some of the top features to be much more mobile friendly and more mobile compatible. And Android's playing a very, very big role in our feature development as well.
And BlackBerry?
We're on BlackBerry. It is definitely one of the smaller uses, but we do have enough business on BlackBerry to justify the development and keep that on. But it would definitely be secondary after Apple and Android.
And did you take a HTML5 route with the apps, or did you go native?
At this point in time, we are native, but we're definitely exploring the HTML5.
What do you think are the limitations really at this stage?
I think that the biggest limitation that we're seeing is just having enough technical talent that's comfortable with it, and recruiting the talent to bring it on board. There's a lot of competition for technical talent, especially here in San Francisco. I guess all over the world. So I think that's our biggest internal limitation right now. In terms of other specifics, I'd have to check with our product managers on that one for you.
Have you built entirely in-house, or did you outsource?
It's interesting. We actually built everything entirely in-house, and we have been very fortunate in that. Tagged is very much of a bias towards in-house. Almost all of our games now are built completely in-house. We do have a few third-party games left. At one time, Tag was Zynga's third largest partner after Facebook and MySpace. But basically, we don't have any Zynga games left anymore. We do have a Playdom game and a couple of other third-party games. But pretty much everything is built in-house, both from the game studio as well as our mobile apps, and all of our development is done in-house.
Why partner with Playdom?
It's not so much a partnership as much as it's a grandfathered program that has done successful for both of us. Before we built our own in-house game studio, we did use all third-party games, and in the Playdom games that we have been successful for us, and so we've left them on the site because we have a lot of users that enjoy them. Whereas some of the other games were not as successful, and we ran into some technical difficulties maintaining the game, and that wasn't a great user experience, and therefore that's why we wanted to go in-house and make sure that we had a great user experience. And at the end of the day, making sure that our users were happy was a major motivator versus actually the money, because the money was pretty good when the revenue shares.
What do you think of, you think the iPad would be wonderful for gaming and discovery, social dating, finding new friends and looking at profiles. What's your approach with the iPad?
Sure. So tablets are going to be a huge aspect and a huge part of what we're doing in the future as well. I mean, you just have to, it's obvious, there's no mystery here. You have to go to what the people are using. So you need to be on all the different devices. And we certainly are committed to developing for all the tablets, including the iPad. It's a matter of resource and trying to get the features out as fast as you possibly can. And we start with the things that people like the most, which is Meet Me and Pets Game, and then we'll add in other things from there. So we kind of watch what happens, what's most popular on the web, and then make sure we have those features translate to mobile as quickly as possible.
Gotcha. What would be your advice to anyone who is building from scratch, who is starting with a notion of building a mobile or social dating app from scratch? What would your advice be to them?
Well, our success has really been through very, very fast iteration. We've gone down the route where we've really planned things out and really put a lot of productions in and released it after a lot of time and a lot of effort, only to see things just completely flop. Whereas if we go out with minimum requirements and just get something in the market so you can test it and get a feel for it quick iteration has been definitely the path and the success that where we've seen the most success. So I would say, move quickly, get it out with minimum features, and find and test and see what's going on, and learn, iterate quickly from that.
And of course, a big problem, of course, is growing to critical mass. That's the chicken and egg problem. Do you ever sell downloads, for example? I know some other apps that will actually sell installations and promote other complementary services.
Yeah, it's interesting. In fact, one of the companies we acquired last year, Digby, was a download client, IM, and multi-social communication, a real-time communication application. And that was really one of the only ways they could really monetize effectively. Fortunately, because Tagged is so large already, we're kind of in a very lucky position, having that audience already of about 20 million monthly active users. So we're actually able to remove those downloads, remove the ads, remove things that might be in the way of people really enjoying the experience, and really focus on the virtual currency and having products and features that they want to go ahead and pay for. And that's been the success metric for us, and that's worked really well. And that's why our apps have taken off so well too, because we've got a built-in large user base. So we're relatively unique in that, from that perspective.
Well, Digby is one of my favorite IMs. Are you going to integrate that within Tagged, or has it been integrated yet?
No, actually, we're not. We basically we do have some of the assets. The team from Digby is incredibly talented, and they've been huge contributors. And we've actually come out with our own live IM client within Tagged. And for Digby itself, we are going to have some news. In fact, when I see you in Beverly Hills, I might be able to make an announcement regarding Digby at that time. We're working on something that we think the Digby community is going to be really happy about.
Great. I'll follow up with you on that. Excellent. So what do you think... I mean, one of the questions I've been struggling with is, how do you define social dating? Has anybody really integrated the social graph and really got their arms around what works with singles in terms of
I think
using Facebook information, etc.?
Right. I think there's certainly a lot of people doing a lot of interesting things in that area. We are while dating is a big part of Tagged, and we're our own platform, our own stack, so to speak. So while we use Facebook Connect so people can log in, we're really not that active in the Facebook environment that much ourselves. Everything really is happening on Tagged. For us, social dating. There's so many, as you know better than anybody, Mark. There's so many different levels of the spectrum from dating, from casual hookups to serious relationships and things. And Tagged falls kind of in that middle space of, we're just a great place to meet new people, and if it turns into dating, fantastic. And a lot of people come there specifically to look for dating and things of that nature because we're a free service, and and we also I think we're different because of the nature of our services. There's not a stigma attached with I'm on a dating site necessarily. It's more of a casual, but it's very implied that you're a place to meet new people. So one of our advantages is when you're on Tagged, people expect to be introduce themselves to other people. We have a lot of features that allow it, make it very simple for people to connect, a real social lubricant, so to speak. Whether it's sending a wink or a gift, or just browsing photos and quick messaging and things of that nature. So I think, to try to answer your question more concisely, we've just made it as easy as possible for people to have a reason to connect, and then we try to do our best to match people who are probably going to want to connect. And there's still a lot of a science to do on that. I mean, we have a great team. There's a lot more to be done on really finding the right people quickly, and that's where we hope to be our competitive advantage in the long term.
Who would you regard as your top competitors at this stage?
Well, it's interesting. Until recently, we felt we were kind of in the space, kind of on our own. But over the last year, there's definitely two key competitors who are coming right into the same space that we're looking to crack. In London, it's Badu. It's an excellent company. They're very impressive, great results, and they're really making a push in the U.S. right now. And then also in the U.S., My Yearbook and Copasa have merged, and they're rebranding themselves as Meet Me this summer. In fact, I think like this week, and they're also working on to be in the meet new people space as well. So, you know, in the landscape of all the different dating sites and all the different social networks out there, Badu and Meet Me are probably our closest like competitors, so to speak.
Where do you see Tagged in a year's time? What's your vision for Tagged over the coming 12 months?
Yeah, so we have a lot of plans. We really want to crack the code on social discovery and meeting new people. We think that there is a massive market, potentially as big as the Facebook keep in touch with people you already know market out there. And you know, we are working really hard on proprietary technology, algorithms, and patents to find the way to really connect like-minded people and broaden the use case beyond just dating and flirting and social games to, you know, getting people together who might want to be actually just friends, and wouldn't have the chance because so much friendship has been based on proximity. Who you work with, who you go to school with, who you live next to as a neighbor, who your kids go to school with, and that's kind of it. Whereas the internet opens up this opportunity where you can actually, you know, make friends. You know, another site that's going to launch next week, which will be interesting, is Airtime. Sean Parker and Sean Fanning's new video chat roulette relaunch, so to speak. So we're watching that with a great deal of interest too, and see what that's all about. So a lot happening in the social discovery, meet new people space, which of course dating is a huge part of it.
Steve Sarner, you're the VP Marketing at Tag.com. Thank you so much for your time.
Mark, it was great to catch up, and look forward to seeing you again real soon.